Afternoon, guys. How are we all doing? Hi, Trevor, David, Profster, D'Armand. Excuse me. Afternoon, Bart. Big old spike just gone on the DAX and all the other indices and oil. Just had Ukraine has declared its willingness to meet core Russian demands. Basically, that's come from the Russians. So, obviously, I smell something. You've got to be so careful with this market at the minute. Literally, every peep from anybody to do with anywhere in Ukraine or anywhere in Russia, it's just like nuts. Like this thing this morning, it's just craziness everywhere at the minute. You can be in a lovely trade and get taken out of it instantly for no reason whatsoever other than somebody's posted in some group somewhere that somebody said something that means nothing. It's just so difficult. You've got to be so careful. I've got a short on at the moment on the DAX. So I'm looking at this at the minute as a swing off of this resistance, basically. We just put in a new a bearish engulfing, basically. So I'm taking a little swing down, assuming that we're going to get a decent move. Obviously, this is where I think we're coming, and if we're in this bear market, we're coming way beyond it, obviously. But this is where I want the market to get to. If this is going to be a leg up in a bull market, we're going to need a pullback, aren't we, before we take our next leg? So I'm playing a bit of a swing down today, hoping that we're going to get a big move down on the indices out of New York Open. So I've taken basically a normal position, basically. And obviously now I've just got this massive spike gone in. So we'll see what happens with this one. But yeah, that's kind of what I was playing. So this high here and this area that we've rejected a couple of times, I'm assuming that that's done now. The sellers have all stepped in. And if we are going down today, we're not going to come back up and retest this area, hence my stop being above those highs. It's a fairly wide stop, obviously, as you can see. So we'll see. But yeah, difficult in a minute, very difficult to tell. There's a lot. I've just been reading this morning quite a bit of chatter on various websites on Zero Hedge all over the place. Just people's views of where this market is going, and the general consensus is confusion, which is good because my confusion is backed up by everybody else's confusion, which is good because sometimes you look at this market and you think, why don't I understand what's going on? And when other people don't understand what's going on as well, it just gives you a bit of like, yeah, okay, I'm not the only one that really is finding this tough at the minute. So there's a lot calling bull, there's a lot calling bear, there's a lot sitting sideways going, no idea. So yeah, everybody's in kind of the same boat at the moment with this. NASDAQ, we have pushed up and we're putting a little bit of a bear day in at the moment. Same with the other indices on the US. So no real movement on the US indices, which you normally expect, obviously. In the Globex session, we don't go a long way. But we will see. So that's my play for the moment, is to see if we can continue this short. So we had this nice big dump this morning. I've taken a couple of trades, as you can see, this morning rather. So I've banked a bit shorting this off of the 20. I put one of these in the Telegram group as well, I think. A couple of them in the Telegram group. So yeah, basically looking for shorts, but I might well get spiked out on this. And we may get a pullback, but we will see. Let me just adjust my fib. So that's today's move so far. From the open to the low. So you can see obviously levels. We've come back up. We came back up initially here, but we haven't retested the 38, the 50 or the 61 since we hit these lows. So there's quite possibly potential for it to come up and do that. But I'm assuming we're going to go short. But we'll see. See what happens at the open. Afternoon, Andy. Bruno. Terence, I'm going to say. What's with the Aussie-US pair? It's not going down. It's because it's going up. US dollar, not having a good day. Especially US dollar CAD. So the Aussies basically... Canadian dollar is very strong at the moment. We had news come out this morning from OPEC. BP is going to be approaching Sinopec about taking over the blah, blah, blah. It's just an all conglomerate talk, basically. But OPEC are going to look at putting in place measures to stabilise oil costs and production, basically, is what they're looking for. So we've got OPEC meetings tomorrow, which will potentially affect that. We've got crude this afternoon, but it's OPEC tomorrow, so we'll see what happens on that. Hi, Peter. So yeah, the Aussies basically, obviously yen's doing its thing again. The Aussies are all pretty stable at the minute. But the US dollar's been a little bit all over the place today. But ADR wise, we've not had an awful lot more happening. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, we pushed down to 125 in London. We've put a higher low in. So this is this dinosaur again. Remember I drew this dinosaur pattern before? Yeah, there's his face. Dinosaur pattern breaks to the upside. It's a pattern I made up ages ago in the live room. I just spotted him again. He's back. Anyway, ignore that one. So Aussie New Zealand straight off of 125 ADR, retested and gone. Didn't get a reversal alert on this because it just completely collapsed this morning. US dollar yen got ADR hit off of 125. That one's off very nicely. We got the alert much earlier, obviously, in Asia this morning. The other yens have hit as well. So looking at these yen pairs again today, move down in Asia, London's gone nowhere. So we have done nothing much. We've pushed up a little bit in London, but we haven't really made any progress. We're just putting back on the initial Asian move at the moment. So let's see if we can get some push down and get some yen strength coming through this afternoon. That would be lovely. Not a lot of move on Euro US dollar. Loads of chop today, as you can see, based on the US dollar GDP and non-farm employment change. So that came out as all as expected, basically. All news was as expected. So we didn't get any movement anywhere at all. So bit of a rubbish day today from a movement perspective. Afternoon, Christy. So yeah, that's basically FX this morning. Nothing on the RSI extensions. 4 hours, same as before. We got Euro Pound, which obviously was massively extended. You can hear lots of ticks going on in the background. Some bullish action coming in. Oh, the market's just opened. So Euro Pound's still extended. We have rolled over very, very nicely. We're just pulling back at the moment. So nice looking short. This is the short we looked at this morning. Just starting to turn. So we've had a reversal alert and it's retested. It's just retesting again at the minute. And Euro US dollar is the only thing that's extended on 4 hour. Again, looking for lovely shorts, basically. So, was there not an intervention from the Bank of Japan today? Not that I'm aware of. The BOJ were drawing up plans, but they released their plans yesterday. I haven't seen anything this morning from BOJ. I expect fundamental resolution on disagreements between Russia and the EU in the coming days. Fundamental resolution on disagreement between Russia and the EU. Russian Deputy Foreign Minister. Ukrainians declared when it's... That's right. Just watching the news. Right, markets. Nasdaq today. Doing the Nas. So I got that short at the moment on the DAX, and I'm going to look at Nasdaq today. So looking at the Nas from higher level, we are kind of flagging at the moment for a new high, but we are also up in this zone that we identified from the daily chart. This high, this low, which we've respected there. So this area basically is of interest for a reversal and a little bit of pullback. So we're 4 days up. We went 6 days up previously before we had a pullback. We're due. We're definitely due. Across all indices, we're due. So we'll see if we get that this afternoon. This is hence why I'm a little bit more bearish on the DAX today as well. But we'll see where we go at the open, wait for the opening range to go in. Blimey, that's a hell of a spread. So yeah, so short DAX, nice triple top rejection there on the DAX. So nice bearish price action. Come the bears. Okay, again short one on the DAX. Nasdaq rather, sorry. So again, same thing, looking for these highs basically to hold and try and get a short in. So there's our opening range. Not bad opening range this afternoon rather. Adding another sell down here. So if we are going to go short today, going to get in second position there, and then look for a break of the lows. That's rich of the Russians, isn't it? Russian Deputy Foreign Minister. I expect a fundamental resolution on disagreements between Russia and the EU in the coming days. Forget Ukraine. We're going to sort out our arguments with the EU. You've got more pressing things to deal with at the moment, Mr. Russian. Okay, so we've got these two swing highs on the DAX, which we just tested. First one. Nasdaq rather, not DAX. I always get the Nasdaq and the DAX mixed up. Good volatility this morning. this afternoon. I always get the mornings and afternoons mixed up as well, don't I? Whatever I say, never take that as read. Just wait for me to correct myself. So assume that I'm wrong in the first place. So if I say DAX, I've shorted the NASDAQ. If I say NAS, I've probably traded the DAX. And it might well be evening when I wake up in the morning. I'm not getting old. God, what's going on when I get old? Jesus. Just taking a short on the NAS on my other account as well. I've managed to trade that back up to 53.5k this morning. So I'm 1,000 ahead of where I wanted to be, which is nice. I can relax. Have I ever been to the US? Yes, I have. I've been to New York and I spent 3 weeks in Wisconsin with some friends near Minneapolis, and went to a place called Bruce, which is where my mate used to live. Second entry on NAS short. You don't want to travel to the UK. Stay where you are. It's much better. Depends where you live, actually, in the US. I'll be a bit afraid to travel to the US now, to be honest. There's far too many guns around. Signs of becoming younger. Going mad and forgetting what day it is and which instrument you're trading. This is why I couldn't run a signal service. I'm short on the DAX. Sorry, I mean the yen. Sorry, I mean the US dollar. Sorry, what did I just hit? Which button? Closing. Thinking of closing. Closing 1 for 0.6 that was. Just going to hold this second position. Nice little short at the open. Just moving in another sell stop underneath these lows. Actually, the spread's tightened up a little bit now, hasn't it? Cool, lag. No, still 3 or 4 points, aren't we? Cool. Oh, bit of a lag on the MT4 today. So I'm just going to take another entry on the entry on a break of this low as a third position. Fairly decent stop. Actually, that stop's a bit tight. 300. 500. Just going to go with a slightly larger stop on that second position. Oh, that was a bit close. No, I'm not going to blow the account today. Actually, I'm just going to bank another $130 on that NASDAQ trade. So I'm now up to 53.6. I'm giving myself a nice big gap to play with tomorrow. Last day of the evaluation tomorrow. I passed tomorrow. So I'm going to give myself $1,000 to play around with tomorrow, at least. And then I can take it calm. So my trading days hasn't quite updated yet. It still says 53.5 on it. Just a little bit of a pullback at the moment. Just back inside the opening range on the NASDAQ. A few balls coming in. Fair few balls coming in at the minute. Might take one more under these lows, actually on the Nasdaq as well. DAX is coming down well. I'm just watching the other markets as well. The S&P is just putting three tails to the upside. We got double top, tweezer tops on that, and we've got a lovely tail just gone in, or just going in at the moment. We've still got 2.5 minutes of this candle, obviously, so a bit premature, but we have got a lot of selling pressure coming in. All those buyers have just been absorbed on the S&P, so I would expect Nasdaq to do the same thing. So it looks like a lot of selling pressure coming in. So I'm just going to take a second short on a break of the lows. While trading, you have to have a cold heart. I don't know about a cold heart. You don't have to be nasty. Just because you're taking somebody else's money every time you win. You just have to be disciplined. That's the hard bit, keeping your head. Which I can do no problem with my own money. When you're trading someone else's money, it's not too much of a problem. When you want an evaluation, it really screws with your head. So I was just going to show you my trading days. So that's the account at the minute. So I'm actually 53,600. That's out of whack, but I've traded I've got to trade 5 days. So this is what I was talking about this morning. Day one on the 25th, I did $1,300. That's the weekend. Monday I did 2.2. Yesterday I lost $1,000, which brought me down to 52,539. So that was a pass. So I had to trade today. And today, obviously, I had a hideous start to the morning. So I dropped down by about $1,800 into drawdown, which I've just pulled back up into. It's actually $1,100. This isn't updated yet. This takes a while to feed through. So yeah, 1,100 up today. So basically just recouped yesterday's losses. But a lot of contracts. This is what I mean. This is what I was talking about this morning when we were talking about account sizes and stuff. Yeah. When you're trading 50k, 100k, 250k accounts, you're putting a lot of lots in. Everyone's used to trading 0.2s, 0.1s, 0.3s, 0.5s if you're scalping. You're suddenly trading 200 lots in 27 trades, 5-10 lots per entry. Screws your head. That's why I say 50k is really all you need to make a decent living with a prop firm. Just going to get stopped out on that NAS. Put him back. So just going to see if we break this high. If we don't crack that high, might have another go at a short. We've got decent weight on the DAX. The Dow and everything else is negative. I'm going short one on the NAS there. I think this is just a pullback. Just big pullback. DAX is going. I mean, if you lose your own money for 2 or 3 trades in a row, oh yeah, you're going to have more than that as well. Like I said this morning, you're going to get 5 or 10 trades in a row, which are going to go wrong. It happens. Happens to everybody, and this is what the prop firms know. They know that you are going to have a bad run. They're counting on it. Which is why I think the statistics is 85% or something of people fail their evaluations. And of the ones that get through, I reckon it's more than that, to be honest. But of the ones that get through, over 50% of them lose their funded accounts within a month. Never get paid. Doesn't mean you're not a good trader. It just means you can't trade within the restraints of the conditions you get given, basically. David, I'm on phase 2 as well in my Forex funds. Made 1% today. I feel I can take it nice and slow. No need to rush it since it's 60 days. Yeah, good. If you can do that, do it. Because that's the thing, isn't it? You can pass it in 5 days. So your brain is going, I need to pass in 5 days. If you can just try and grab 1% a day, you're going to pass it in 5 days because your target's 5%. It's less than that, isn't it? 4%. It's 5%. Yeah, it's 5%, sorry. Yeah, take it nice and slow. I'm coming to the conclusion that, I'm scalping that account. It's probably better off swinging it and just going with really nice big stops on it. And just every time you get sort of 0.5% in profit, grab it. But give the market loads and loads of room. Not quite sure on this NAS at the minute. A lot of buyers just stepped in there. Same on the DAX. Closing DAX as well. There's a 0.2 loss on that. Not quite sure where that buying is coming from, but Profster, I want to reach a phase of making a minimum of 30k in a single trade. Minimum. Good luck with that. You do realise you're going to need a minimum of a $500,000 account to do that. Otherwise, you're fully over leveraged. The DAX is making bullish market structure. Yep. It's also making bearish market structure. Look at it. Everybody's going to look at this in a different way. For me, this is bearish. Yeah. We are in a bearish market structure. Right now, in the very, very, very short term, we're bullish. But this is a flag on, this is a bear flag. Yeah. Up to you how you want to look at it. Everyone can make money. If I hit the button long now, you hit the button short now, we'll both come out of this with $500. Both be right. Because it's going to go up and it's going to go down as it's on its way to wherever it's going to head. We don't know, do we? Right now, this is bullish, yeah. But it's only been bullish for the last half an hour. I'm looking at the day at the minute, which is bearish. We're bearish on... Whoops. We're bearish on this as well. Now we're breaking out potentially into bullish market structure, which is why I've closed these positions. But I need some confirmation. I'm not just going to jump in long because it's made a new high there. Vast majority of breakouts fail. You go for whatever you want, Profster. Go for the 300k account. If you can trade it, trade it. But for me, if I can make 100 to 150k a year, I'm happy. I don't need to be making £500,000. It's too stressful. That's my life, though. I've done my mortgage, got nice cars. I don't need to be trading to earn millions and millions and millions. If I was in my 20s, I'd probably have a different outlook. But I've owned many Porsches, And you do get very bored with the bills. Lovely cars, but every time it goes in the shop, it costs me $2,000. It's not fun. Everybody wants all this stuff. My mate's got a nice big 38-foot yacht, and been out on that a few times with him. And twice a year he has to drag it out of the water and get it barnacled or whatever you call it. You know, just get the hull treated. It's $3,000. Plus it costs him like $5,000 to moor the thing. You're dropping $8,000 of your money just to own the thing. Forget the fact you've had to pay $50,000 to buy the thing. So as soon as you buy a yacht, you're £58,000 in the hole. You know, and every time you sail from A to B, it costs you £30 a night to stop. You know, it's all very well wanting all the expensive toys and everything and living the lush lifestyle, but trying to maintain it, very hard work. Going short DAX, going short Dow, Nasdaq as well. Nice wide stops on these. I'm going to give this plenty of room to breathe today. We're quite choppy at the open, a lot of volatility coming in, but looking like a failed breakout. And we are obviously potentially bearish. So I'm bearish at the minute until it proves me otherwise by pulling back and then putting in new highs, and then that's me wrong, basically. You can hear I've got the crickets on in the background. I've turned their volume down today so it doesn't annoy everybody. But seriously, go for the 300k account if you can. You should do the evaluation. Yeah, do the evaluation. Try and pass. Best thing to do is go to FTMO. Is it FTMO? No, Top Step, sorry. Top Step, because they do the free evaluation. So like the trial evaluation, the demo of the demo account, if you like. And go and do their 200k one and just see what it feels like to see 2.5k sitting in your P&L, but you can't take it because it's only 0.1% of what you actually need to get to. And see if you can sit there with 2.5k on the table and your TP absolutely miles away. See if your brain can handle it. That's the best way to see if you can handle that level of account. Go and demo it. But it's play money, so it's not the same as being real trading, is it? So I'm just shorting the NAS on my other account as well. I say my other account, the evaluation. Initially just targeting these lows. Short one more DAX. The day you decide to head from Dow to DAX to NAS and S&P, the Dow decides to fly. Yeah, you couldn't make it up, could you? Literally every day this week I've picked the wrong instrument. Literally every day. The interesting thing is this thing's off the charts that way and everything else is bearish. So if I was you, I'd be shorting that. Because this one normally lags the rest. But obviously if the Dow's in charge, I might have this completely wrong. This could easily be a pullback long, couldn't it? Look at the wicks. Dow might be the one. I was just watching the Dow on my other screen thinking, when's that thing going to come back down? And then I'm looking at the S&P, I'm looking at the DAX, I'm looking at the FTSE, I'm looking at the Nasdaq. Everything else looks bearish apart from the Dow, which is shot off at the highs. But let's have a look where that's gone. See, he's potentially just putting in a false breakout along with the rest. Who knows? One or the other, isn't it? It's either breaking out or it's not going to make it. FTMO have a 14-day trial as well, 100k. Yeah, is it only 100k you can do on FTMO? Yeah, yeah, it's good. It's good to go and practice. But the other thing you can do, you don't have to go to a prop firm. Just go and get a demo account with your broker, and it says, how much money do you want in your demo account, and put in 250k, and then trade it. Venu Gopal, sorry, what is that account provider name you said? What the prop firm that I'm with is My Forex Funds, MFF. Just dropping on the DAX. There you go. There's an affiliate link. Go sign up, make some money for me. That's My Forex Funds. If you want to go and have a look at them. A lot of indecision at the minute. Here, we're just about to close in a minute on this NASDAQ. We really haven't got a clue where we're going at the moment. So just looking to see if this closes bearish. May want to jump out of this one as well. Really hard today. We've got a lot of chop. Professor, I can barely handle $700 in profits. Yeah. I was sweating this morning. You saw me this morning. I was trading that other account this morning. I was sitting there with $1,700 profit on that short on the DAX this morning. You get sweaty palms. Think about that. Yeah. What do most people make in a month? A couple of thousand, 3,000, 4,000 if you've got a good job. I made $1,700 in one trade in 5 minutes this morning. I'm not going to do that every time, but you're going to get sweaty palms when you're trading that size. If you go up to a 300k account, your palms are going to be dripping. You won't even be able to hold your mouse. It's hard work. It's horrible. I don't enjoy it. I really don't enjoy trading big accounts. Which is why I like position trading. It's lot less stressful. 15 seconds left on these candles. We are putting in an inside bar. So market structure at the open is bearish. The last part of the Frankfurt session is bullish. Overall daily is bearish. Session open is bearish. Take your pick. We still haven't decided which way we're going. Still within the inside range, the opening range. Mace, actually, maybe you can do 200k. I was trying what I wanted to do for real. Yeah, you might be able to pick your account size if you're doing those trials, but lots of bulls coming in at the minute on the NAS. Dow is looking. Dow's just double topped. S&P's made new highs on the session. FTSE's coming down. Real chop fest today. Real chop fest. Glad I'm using wide stops today, because if you were candle highs on this, you'd be chopped to pieces today. Yeah, inside bar on the DAX. MAs are sideways at the minute as well. It's just there's more buyers coming in. News-wise this afternoon, we've got crude at 3:30 in half an hour. And then the only other news we've got this evening is George speaking at 6 o'clock. And that's all we got really to worry about this afternoon. So might get some volatility on crude about an hour into the session. Jeez, look at this. Horrible, horrible chop fest today. Imagine me taking these all information from you and I'm 18, wondering what will happen when I'm 25. You'll be profitable. Average person that I know, personally that I know, that makes money trading has taken between 5 to 10 years to get there. No lie. Some people do it in less. But then it depends if you're doing it full time or not. Most people, the reason most people take years to become consistently profitable is not because they're thick or they haven't found the right way of trading. It's because they don't have the time to put into it. If you could put 2 years solid into this without having to work a 9 to 5, you'd be profitable. But the average person is not going to be able to dedicate more than 1 or 2 hours a day at the very most to trading activity. 10,000 hours in front of the charts. So if you can only do 1 or 2 hours a day learning, I have people that message me in Telegram saying, I've just finished the first video of the Boocamp, fantastic stuff. Then they email me a week later and go, I'm just halfway through video 2 and ask me a question. I'm like, what? It's taking you a week to get halfway through a 1 hour video. But you think about it, everybody's working 9 to 5, you come back to your family, you have to eat, and then you sit down in front of the telly, you might get an hour maybe to watch a video. If that is all you can put into your trading career and learning how to trade, you're going to be 5 or 10 years before you get anywhere near profitable. Fact, that's just the way it is. Yeah. If you were a brain surgeon, you had to train to be a brain surgeon or a lawyer, but you only had 1 hour a week to do it, you're not going to become a brain surgeon or a lawyer until you're in your 40s. This is why we take time out, go to university, build up 100K's worth of debt so that we can come out into a 60K job. No one's going to be able to jump into a 60K job in trading just by spending a couple of hours in front of charts for 6 weeks, a month, 2 months, 6 months, or whatever, are they? So if you can stick to it for 2 years and not get a job, i.e. live with your mum or something, that'd be amazing. I do 5 hours a day playing Call of Duty. Yeah. See, this is the thing. Do you know what? I used to game for many hours. I looked at Elite Dangerous is something I used to play a lot of in VR. I looked at Elite Dangerous the other day because I've installed this new machine and I downloaded it on Steam. 427 hours I've put into Elite Dangerous. Can you imagine if I'd have put that 427 hours into something else? What I could have achieved? Yeah, if you do 5 hours a day on Call of Duty, do 2.5 hours on Call of Duty and 2.5 hours in the simulator trading. That will speed up the amount of time it takes you to trade and become profitable. It's amazing how much time we waste doing stuff. I was like, what else did I download the other day? Oh, The Division. God. I've played Division for 3.5 years solid. On the PlayStation, I'd racked up over 200 hours within months, basically. God knows what my PlayStation account says, but my PC account was like hundreds of hours playing The Division. It's like we spend all of our time doing that. Now, if I've got a choice between having 2 or 3 hours in an evening playing games, or 2 or 3 hours in an evening coding different EAs to test different strategies and doing that sort of stuff. I spend it doing this. But just because I know how long it takes to code stuff and test stuff. Daily range hit on Aussie dollar Swiss. Lots of bear movement coming in. Aussie dollar Swiss has fallen out of bed. Is this Aussie dollar or is this Swiss franc? Looks a bit like Aussie dollar to me. Swiss franc. So we've got a strong Swiss franc and we've got a weak Aussie dollar at the moment. Good for the pound odd. Good bearish rejection again on the Nasdaq. We're just taking out new lows, so looking to break these lows. DAX is holding the 50 at the minute, but it's looking way more bullish. Real indecision on these markets and divergence everywhere. There's no real directional bias on anything yet. It's still kind of inside range, in the opening range on a lot of the stuff. Pushing up, pulling back. It's a bit of a mess. David, yes, that's true. I'm glad to say I'm finally a profitable trader, but it took me 4 years to do so, and there's still so much more to learn. Cool. Yeah, 4 years is good. I broke even, I would say, on my second time round, because I gave up trading for a year and a half. Second turn round, it took me a good, I would say, 3 years to break even. So I probably put 4.5 in before I became break even. I know I'm talking break even over a 6-month period, like not making a loss. I didn't make any money, but I didn't lose any money, and that's the first step. Having an account and not blowing it is the first step. And holding that account for 6 months, dumping 5 grand into it, and in 6 months I've still got 5 grand. I'm not a losing trader anymore. If you can get to that point, it means 2 things. First of all, you found something, or you found your time frame, you found your instruments, you found something that's got promise. And the second thing, you've got the dedication to do this. Am I a slaver or a narcotic runner? I do all sorts of stuff. I just muck about with my mates in it, basically. In Elite Dangerous, that is. Yeah, I'm not a slaver or a narcotic runner in real life. In Elite Dangerous. Division is so much fun, but sucks if you play it more than me. Yeah, I've spent a long time in the Division, a long time, and Division 2, a long time. Literally every night. My wife used to go to bed at 9. She still does sometimes. We all both do. But I used to go on with my mate Kev at 9 o'clock at night, finish at 1 in the morning. Go to sleep, get up, play a little Division with breakfast, work, trade. Then basically, is there anything you want to watch on telly tonight, love? Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching that. Brilliant. Kev, you on for Division? So we Division from about 6 or 7 o'clock until about 1 o'clock in the morning. That went on for literally 8-10 months. Every night. Just crazy. Division. Some games suck you in and you can't get out. Same with Skyrim. God, did I get into that? Now I've got VR as well. I'm about to get Skyrim VR. I think my life is going to be sucked in again. Pushing up again. Literally, this is hideous Christmas tree land at the minute. Got no directional bias whatsoever on anything. So just be a bit careful. Looks to me like it's going to pop one way or the other. They might be waiting for crude at 330 to see what the inventories are. I don't know why they would be, but they're waiting for something, certainly. I spent a lot of time playing Counter-Strike Go. Yeah, I used to play Counter-Strike. I was in some people... Right, here's a good example. Profster. I was playing Medal of Honor in a clan, not professionally, semi-professionally, in a clan. I had a role in a clan before you were born. Medal of Honor was the first proper online game I started playing. That was good 20 years ago plus. Long time ago. Counter-Strike Go, yeah. Used to love Counter-Strike. My son, my 12-year-old son, right, I caught him the other day. Not caught him, but he was playing Roblox. You know Roblox, obviously. A lot of the kids are playing Roblox at the moment, and Minecraft's kind of fallen by the wayside. They're all into Roblox. He was playing a shooter in Roblox. He's 12. And I was watching him over his shoulder, and I was like, oh, I know this. Why do I know this? They've replicated the Counter-Strike maps in Roblox. You know the one where you had to disarm the bomb? Yeah, so you had a team who were defending the bomb, and then the other team the terrorists had to come in and try and defend the bomb, and the Counter-Strike team come in and try and disarm the bomb. He's playing that in Roblox. Somebody in Roblox has recoded the entire Counter-Strike maps, and the 12-year-old kids are playing it. Obviously, there's no blood and gore in it. It's just pew-pew type thing. But it's proper Counter-Strike. I was like, why do I know this map? From many, many years ago. How things come round in circles. If you're from the US, I can't. The ping is so high. Yeah. I play with a lot of people all over the world. Well, I don't so much anymore, to be honest. But that's the thing with Division. You just, you play with anybody that's on. God, come on. Do something, for God's sake. Been sitting in these trades for half an hour now. More balls coming in. I have to say the market's looking a bit more bullish than bearish at the minute. Nasdaq's just trying to take out the highs, and we've done it. So we popped that. They were going up, closing the DAX, and Nas is just going to get taken out. So we're long. Oh God, that took a while to decide, didn't it? So going to be looking for pullbacks on long positions. Just going to close that. Might as well just close it at 0.4 instead of 0.5. God, what a hideous day today. On one hand, I've made over 1,000 in the other account. And I'm about 2.5% down on this account. So take with one hand, give with the other. I've still got a swing running on the DAX on my other account as well. I'm still playing this swing short. So I'm looking for this to be the high. I'm looking for a good strong push down from here. So I've still got a swing running short, but that NAS has kind of convinced me that we're in a bull market. But then again, you look at the Dow. Dow's not. This is all over the place today. There's literally the Dow's coming down. Nasdaq's going up. S&P is going sideways. Take your pick. Really, it's impossible to trade this. There's no directional bias on any index at all. They're all completely divergent with each other. There's something going on. There's some holding pattern. Tomorrow is the last day of the month. And quite often at the end of the month, you get big either pumps or sell-offs as the institutional traders balance their books for quarterly reporting and quarterly commissions. It may be that we're kind of just leveling the books at the moment, which is why we're seeing so much sort of choppy action going. I don't know. It's just not going anywhere, is it? Everything's all over the place. Andy, and you're still married? Yep, still married. Managed to game my entire marriage. I'm still there. David, so I'm just catching up on the chat. What made you not want to give up the second time round? So when I gave up trading, I started in stocks, I went to Forex, popped back to stocks for a little bit, and then I couldn't make it work, so I gave up. I never really gave up. Every now and again, I would go and download a MT4 demo account because I would see an ad for a new indicator, and I would go, that looks awesome, looking for the Holy Grail, and I came back to it, and just got sucked back in. So it wasn't a case of I wanted to become a trader as such. I was just fascinated by the markets and the way it works. That was really all it was. I wasn't looking at it as a this is what my career is going to be type thing. God, that would have taken me out at stop anyway. We've got 500 point moves going on here, plus, but really, really not going anywhere. Not quite sure what to do with this. I'm just going to watch it for a little bit more and see if we can find a directional bias. But yeah, there was no real reason for coming back. Just didn't want to give up. And I had friends as well that I'd made through trading that kept saying to me, have you seen this? Which didn't help. Mainly on Forex Factory. Forex Factory is dangerous. It can suck you in, never lets you go. They are from the army or oil industry. All right. 2020 during COVID, I was playing pro local leagues in Modern Warfare. Yeah, didn't get into Modern Warfare. Played the single player campaign, but I played a little bit of online with that. But I'm not into those fast hard shooters. I'm more into grinder games like Elite and Division. Anything you've got to spend months in. I like to buy a game and spend $50 or whatever it is on a game and play that game for a year because it's got loads of content and loads of stuff to do, rather than Modern Warfare is just like, most of the time I'm up against sweary kids as well. Modern Warfare, you just get loads of trolls and hideousness in those servers. Yeah, Diamond just said, meanwhile the Dow's pushing down. Yeah, we got real divergence here. Very hard to read the direction of this today. Yeah, end of the month, end of the quarter, war in Russia and non-farm on Friday, Bruno's just said. Real mixed bag at the minute. I wouldn't be surprised if that move we saw yesterday was to do... I mean, this obviously came on the announcement of the peace talks, but it wouldn't surprise me if this was the market waiting for a reason to balance the books yesterday. And this move, which is why we saw some of that get undone, was the dumps to get their profit targets in and their quarterly reporting targets in. So that could have been what we saw yesterday, but it's no way really to tell. So in Forex Factory, I noticed a lot of anti-West, pro-Russia posts in response to news items. Yeah, I haven't been in Forex Factory for a while in the forums. They're toxic. A lot of those forums are just toxic. There's certain people in those forums which ruin them. They try and take over forums, and this is why I have the rules in the Telegram group. I've been on Forex Factory a long time. I have the rules in Telegram group. If you want post charts, don't post P&Ls. If you want to help people by posting charts and analysis, do so. But keep it on topic for the indicators and everything, because what you end up finding is there's somebody starts a forum which goes for a year on a particular subject, then a couple of idiots come in and start changing the subject, and all before you know it, they've taken over the forum post. And it's just a horrible place a lot of the time, Forex Factory. And there's so much content on there. You could literally spend 5 years in Forex Factory trying everything under the sun in there and never get anywhere. There's a couple of posts in there which are gold. A couple of threads which are absolute gold in Forex Factory. But the vast majority of it is all commercial crap. Which is, interesting. I'm just still trying to decide what to do with this today. I'm still tempted to short this DAX. I shouldn't really have got out of that trade, but it looked very bullish a minute ago. US dollar Swiss 125 ADR. Swiss franc very strong today. Good moves down on everything against the Swissy. Pound odd still having a good push as well. Bearish 3-bar reversal on the S&P. The push on the NAS closed its opening gap. There is no gap on the NAS. You don't get gaps on the NAS, really. This is the Globex session. It's only the DAX that doesn't have an Asian session. The Globex on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. This is proper trading in the Globex. Institutions trade Globex as well. You do get a bit of a gap because you've got like a 3-hour window where the Globex is closed at the CME, but this is proper trading. But it has just pushed up to yesterday's close there, so potentially good looking shorts here. Proster, I'm not from the reading type. I don't like to read. It's fair enough. Pound Swiss weekly range here. So if you want to know about the Globex, I'm looking at taking a short here on the Nasdaq. With a fairly tight stop. I really want to short DAX as well. I don't want to over leverage on these. If you want to know about Globex, go to the CME website, CME Group, and they've got CME Globex. They've got a page about Globex, which will explain what Globex is. So it's basically CME's an open access marketplace, basically. So anybody can trade on this. Institutions also trade Globex, obviously, but they don't do the vast majority of their trading during those hours because they're asleep. But Globex is run on the CME. So go and have a look at it. Frankfurt exchange is shut, and the stock exchange is shut in New York. But the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is open, which is a stock exchange, which is the futures market, basically. So it all that is the difference between what you see here, which is why you see the gaps on here, because there literally is nothing. You cannot change this, trade this. There's nothing to trade at those times on the German stock index. But US stocks you can trade. It's virtually 24/5, but there's 3 hours a day where you can't trade it. 4 hours a day, sorry, you can't trade stocks. Dax, what are you doing? Wonder what they do in the New York Stock Exchange. Yeah, I mean, in the New York Stock Exchange, they don't do anything during the Globex session because they're all asleep. But the algorithms trade it. Algorithms trade Globex. Algorithms trade all the time, which is why Globex moves. That's partly why I think they opened Globex, just to get algorithmic trading, because it's impossible to tell, but the estimate is 80% of the movement in the market is algorithmic and run by the algorithms. So, they're making money constantly, so why not give them an exchange to constantly make money on if people want to exchange. And this is, you get pre-market, you get aftermarket news, where when the New York Stock Exchange closes, you get stock prices, you get earnings releases after the stock exchange is closed. They all get traded on Globex, which is why you get some decent Globex sessions. But most people don't trade Globex, retail traders, because it's usually quite choppy. It's like the Asian session. It's just like the Asian session for stocks. It's usually quite a choppy, accumulative session. But when Frankfurt opens and London opens, you get decent movement, because you got Globex being traded by the algorithms, plus the Frankfurt traders, plus the London traders. So this is where you start to get some decent movement ahead of the New York Open. But obviously this is where all the stock volume comes in. You can see the volume, obviously. It's completely different to Globex. Rene, are you doing price action or indicator? I don't quite know what you mean by that. Price action. I'm doing price action trading. Yeah. Have I watched Suits? No, I haven't. It's one thing I never got into, Suits. I thought Suits was about lawyers. Is it not? Billions is worth a watch, obviously, because, that's Taylor Mason Capital is a quant. She is a quant trader, or they, because she's they, them, is a quant trader. So their all of their trading is based on quantitative analysis, and algorithms. That's how they make all the money. We've got crude. Crude's just come out. Let's have a quick look what's happened to crude. Nada. Okay, Nasdaq's coming down. Going short on the DAX as well. We're holding really nicely on this 2050. Still feels heavy, but it's just the minute we're just completely sideways. Showbiz lawyers suits. That's what thing he was in, isn't it? Harry's wife, Meghan. She was in Suits, wasn't she? Imagine I just enter with a full margin position short on the DAX and Putin bombs Frankfurt. Yeah. As long as you don't put a TP on it or a trailing stop, you would become a millionaire. There's a few people I know that have done similar trades. The lucky ones. I took 30 contracts short on the DAX this morning. Yeah. Went my way and made a lot of money. I wouldn't do it every day. But if you can build a position short. I did it the other day, actually. No, last week. Was it last week? I took that trade last week. I made 2.5 grand. Literally, it was just before... Was it Bailey spoke? Well, I don't know. There was a talking head spoke. I shorted something, DAX, one of the indices, and he basically tanked it. And I just got out 2,500 quid. Literally, I entered. 2 minutes later, he tanked it. You're going to get trades like that. You take them. When you get them, you take them. It's part of trading. I've had 30 or 40% profit months, not through skill, through getting in, being on the right side when something crazy happened, and just watched it completely fly in my direction, and got out with a massive, massive profit. There's no skill involved. You're going to need a lot of lucky trades. You know, it's like I say, I keep saying it. It's a 50-50 shot. You hit the buy and sell button, you've got a 50-50 shot of it going in the right direction. Sometimes that right direction is going to be a big one, which is why I don't put TPs on my funded accounts. Never put TPs on them. get those runners, let them go. And this one, I keep hitting the modify TB button and pushing the TP away. Oh, stopped out again on the NAS. I've got this wrong today. I cannot trade this at all today. It's too choppy. I've tried it with wide stops. I've tried it with tight stops. I'm stopped out on every position I take at the moment. It's long, then it's short, then it's long, then it's short. That is the choppiest, hideous channel I've ever seen. Look at the state of it. Why did I choose the Nasdaq? Never mind. 13 years without any lucky trade. No, I've had loads of lucky trades. I had one last week. Lots of them. I was on the very lucky trade. I was when they removed the Swiss franc cap. I was the right direction on that. Didn't get paid out on it because my broker went bust. But Jesus, look at this. Right. Literally, if you're going to trade this today, you need 100-point stop loss. Whichever direction you go. Because at the moment we're seeing 70-point moves. And then we're getting like 40, 50-point chop. It's going to be impossible to make money this way unless you're getting in with a massively tight stop, massively sized position, and you're getting out with like 5 or 10 points. It's just a choppy mess. I don't really want to trade it. S&P is just wick after wick after wick, and massive candle after opposite. We haven't gone anywhere. There's the opening range. That's not the opening range, is it? Yes, it is. Yeah. So there's your opening range, and literally we've pushed out a little bit, we've pushed up a little bit, we've pushed down a little bit. Now we're back in the opening range. It's just awful. So that's my last trade on this. I can't make money if the market's not going anywhere unless I'm trading 1 minute, and I can't trade 1 minute. I'm awful in 1 minute. Negative crude news. So the inventories were 6.9. Sorry, that's the GDP. The inventories were minus 3.4, which is positive crude. It's coming down. News is news. Just news doesn't give a directional bias unless it's fundamental. It's just slightly negative on the oil, so we're getting a little bit of a drop, but coming down into resistant to support on that. Still think long. New Zealand dollar, US dollar has just hit ADR. So it's getting nicely absorbed down there at these lows. So we just tapped into that level. I'm just going to try and get into a second position on this. Nasdaq's coming down and the S&P's coming down now. Now it's taking me out again. Entry short on a break of these lows. Yeah, I mean the DAX is just hideous today. I took a short on the DAX on my other account at 3:59, which is 1:59 UK time. It's now 3:45. I'm $20 in profit on the trade in nearly 1 3/4 hours. it hasn't gone anywhere in 1 3/4 hours since I entered that trade. Literally. Shocking, isn't it? RSI's on the hourly, we're still flat. 4 hourly, nothing different than this morning, really. So euro pound, I still think is the best. The best at the minute. We had that lovely bearish move. We're looking for a pullback into these areas. We've got lovely gaps on these. Nice accumulation push there. There. So these are really nice gaps to aim for. And obviously euro, always shorting the euro. But I think it looks like we're waiting for some news at the minute. Gold. Let's look at gold. Yeah, gold's going up nicely. So I remember this morning I was looking at gold. But I said long gold from here. Yeah, when we got that A-shaped recovery. You know, this is how stupid this market is at the minute. It just hasn't gone anywhere. It's just awful. It's either on a massive squeeze or it's just going sideways. And you can't get into the squeezes because it's not pulling back to give you an entry. And if you're getting into something like gold long, playing it back up to the highs or higher, potentially, you've been sitting in this now for 2 weeks waiting for it to move. It's just utter chaos, this market. Awful. And then you get days like this where, we're dropping down to low time frames because the only thing we can do is scalp small amounts out of these choppy market movements. And you get a session like this. It's as if they don't want you to make money. It's kind of why I like trading with other people's money in funded accounts. It's good because you can just literally go, I'm going to go 30 contracts short. And if you get that trade when you're 30 contracts short and you just go and make a cup of tea and come back 10 minutes later, you could pay off half your mortgage. And it's not your money. So if it doesn't work out, who cares? Shouldn't really condone that. That's gambling. We've got bearish engulfing on the NAS. If I hit the sell button on this thing, it's going to go long, isn't it? But this will be the trade that works today. What do we reckon? Anybody got any idea where this market is going today? For any reason whatsoever? So the trade idea here at that open, as Diamond pointed out, was right. Just stopped out on the wicks, on the chop. See, in theory now, if we're going to go on market actions day, you should long this up to there and get out. Because what we're doing is we're putting in a green candle, a red candle, a green candle, a red candle, spread over two, a green candle, a red candle. So we're due a green candle now, aren't we? It's a Christmas tree. It's green and red, green and red, green and red, green and red, green and red. Literally in and out in 5 minutes. Done. You need to be trading this on 1 minute, don't you? But even then, look at it. How'd you trade that? You don't. Get chopped to bits. Going long now, look. Because I'm short. No idea yet. Still going to give it a bit more time. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how long we can give it before we have to give up and go and do something else, to be honest. I've given back $100, $150 on my evaluation account. I've got one trade running for 2 hours now nearly, which is $9 in profit off 2 contracts or 2 lots. I think the NAS is going to test support level, then hopefully break down. I'll go with that, Luke. Which support, though? It's made quite a few of these at the moment. Hopefully that one. I've never seen a session like it, have you? I honestly can't remember sitting through this before at the open. You can hear the crickets coming in long, but not moving, is it? So that should be a short. That's our range at the minute, isn't it? So somewhere around here, we should be shorting it back down to somewhere around here. Selling it. I mean, what is the point? Just not going to make any money out of it. I'm on the 1 minute, so the current one is bouncing off the 1 minute. I'm terrible trading 1 minute charts. Yeah, I mean, that's... My stop loss is weight. I mean, my stop should be there, shouldn't it, really? I should be getting in with 1%, 2% risk here, looking to scalp, literally, for 3 or 4 minutes. But when I do that, what I tend to get on the 1 minute chart, what tends to happen is I just get chopped to pieces. I'm not good at super low time frame scalping. Too aggressive. Call of Duty is starting to sound good today, yeah. I'm playing at the moment, I'm replaying Modern Warfare, the single player campaign, where they take Piccadilly, and there's a big terrorist attack in Piccadilly, and you do that awesome night raid on a terrorist safe house with night vision. Just one of the best things I've ever seen in my life, graphics wise. And now with this 3070 Ti graphics card, it looks spectacular. So yeah, Modern Warfare this afternoon might be on the cards. I'm going to need to shoot something to get over this loss. Have I given up using the Renko charts? I have. I still use them on my futures account. I find them useful on futures, but they're too flaky in MT4. Even the good ones are too flaky in MT4. And I don't really need them, to be honest, because they're just smoothed out price action, and I can see price action, a market structure, without them. But for futures, they're really good, because in futures, you're entering with set contracts, and every tick is worth a monetary amount. So they're really useful for measuring tick distances, monetary amounts. So each of the Renkos is worth $50. So they're really useful, I think, in futures. I don't need to use them in Forex personally, but US dollar CAD just hit ADR. Canadian dollar, big. No, it's not Canadian dollar. Is that US dollar? US dollar's falling out of bed completely. Strong moves on Euro US. But yeah, I don't really use Renko. But they are good. I prefer Renko to other charting systems out there. I'm going to DM Putin to do something. Yeah, this is the problem, isn't it? With the market sitting there waiting for something to do, and it's waiting for Financial Juice to announce some red news, and then it'll do something. Barkin has just said at what's that, 343. So we didn't even get a move off that. I favour the Fed shrinking the balance sheet faster than last time. That's not really shattering news, is it? But it's red news, so they should have moved the market on it. Supply and demand is the best. Is that S&D you're talking about, supply and demand, or are you talking about a computer game there that I don't know what S&D stands for? Yeah, supply and demand, support and resistance. It's all the same stuff. All good. I'm just reading some of the. I'm in a few Discord channels, funded trader Discord channels, and there's a lot of people moaning at the moment. A lot of swearing and cross traders. Basically, everybody's trying to trade this. Nobody's getting anywhere. Search and destroy. Yeah, I prefer supply and demand. Supply and demand makes you money. We just traded a supply and demand zone there. There's another one. So there's a demand zone short, trading it down to a supply zone long. I'm into trading too hard, yeah. Lots of bears coming in at the moment on the US indices. Andy, got to pop out back on tomorrow's stream. Yep, don't blame you. I'll be here tomorrow. Have a good one. So we've just done a pullback. If we're holding this channel, this crazy choppy upward channel, this is where we want to be buying the Nasdaq. Going short another one in the DAX. Again, I'm putting stupid stops on these, but I'm pulling them down, so there's hardly any risk on the trade. But I'm just trying to build up a bit of position to get out of down there. In fact, I should really use my button, shouldn't I? 200. So bringing all my TPs down there. Stops at 200 as well. Got a bit of a push going on the US dollar against the CAD. Aussie dollar, US dollar, and New Zealand US dollar are also coming down. So it looks like we've just got some US dollar strength starting to kick in. Bit of rejection on the Euro US, but we got a nice spike on US dollar CAD. Aussie dollar, US dollar coming down. So nice liquidity run. Okay, more selling pressure coming through. I've literally been on my on this account, on this DAX trade. I've literally been about plus 40 and negative 15 for an hour and a half. Just impossible. Unless you're doing crazy 1 minute. But not sure if I hate losing money more or leaving money on the table. Yeah, that is a very individual psychological issue. Personally, what I do is when a trade is complete, I don't look at the chart again. Therefore, if it screams off, I don't get cross for what I left on the table. I took this trade on the Nasdaq, on the DAX this afternoon, this morning rather. This one here. So I got in the. Can't quite see it there. Let's go out of level 1 sec. So I got in the DAX short here and here. So I took a position there. We accumulated, pushed down. I got out of that one down there. Spot on. Look at that for a TP. How's that for my TP look? I even got slipped into positive territory for once. So I got in position here. No, not that one. That was a break even. Got in position here. We had that big push down just before the news. And I got out there. And it tanked another 5 minutes. So I could have got virtually double the profit. But when I'm out, I'd stop looking at it. Don't concentrate on it at all. Because if it screams 3 times in your direction, that has as much of a negative impact on you as if you hadn't taken the trade in the first place. Or as you say, as if you'd lost money. So it's a good experiment to do. Drag your trades onto your chart and look at them once a week to see what you have left on the table, because it builds up your confidence and you're actually right on your initial idea you just got out early. But there's no point in beating yourself up about the market going further in one direction than without you, because you can't do anything about that. We have no control over where the market's going. Nobody knows where the market's going. I'm just going to push TPs down on this. I'm going to chance the fact that this is actually going to be the one that goes down to proper support. But we're right down in all this forest of wicks. So I'm 70% certain we're going to bounce here. But let's hope I'm 30% of me that is thinking this is not the bottom of the range is actually right. The only reason I'm a little bit more confident is because we've actually had a really decent complete undoing of the entire session. Look at this. Look. Prime example. You've heard me say it many times, probably, if you've been in here before. We climb the stairs. We fall down the elevator shaft. Yeah. In the last 20 minutes, we've undone the last 1.5 hours worth of price action. That's the only reason I'm getting a little bit more confident on this move. Because that just happened. We have actually got some bears coming in. Can't attend tomorrow's Frankfurt session because school. Cool. See you in New York hopefully tomorrow then, Profster. Yeah, I mean, if you with those like Luke was just saying, with not sure if you like hate losing money more or leaving money on the table. Every trade is a trade, so you get into a trade, you get out of a trade. The result of that trade is that trade. Next trade is something completely different. If the market after you get out of that trade does that, It's got nothing to do with your trade. Your trade was from there to there. That's it. Well done. Trade done. You made money. Forget about what happens afterwards. You never beat yourself up about the trades that go from there to there. You get out and then it screams back in your direction. Like that trade I just showed you here. Where was it? That one. No. This one. Yeah. Got in there. I got spiked out. I actually got slipped. See, there's my TP on that trade. I got slipped into positive. This very rarely happens. I actually got more out of my trade than it gave me. And then it did that. I'm not sitting here going, woohoo, look at me. I got that perfect. And it retraced. Likewise, if this thing had tanked another 3 candles that size, I also wouldn't be sitting here going, oh my God, look how much money I left on the table. My trade was there to there. I won. That's it. That is what I was expecting out of the market. I got it. If it goes 3 times further, so what? Now, if it's gone 3 times further, I'm looking for a mean reversion entry. So if it goes 3 times further, it's a good thing because it's giving me the opportunity to come back in and fade that move. So you just look at the market after every trade. Look, I didn't beat myself up about that stop out just before it tanked. I got in twice and traded it. Every trade is new one. This one, I got out there, break even, boom, it collapsed. Oh well. So what did I do? I got in again and took it off. You know, it's just, you just got to trade every trade at a time. Look, it's doing it. We're coming back up here. It's just a nightmare, isn't it? What a horrible, horrible market. I'm now back to $10 in profit on my other account. Nasdaq's coming down really hard. So is the S&P. The S&P's just broken new lows. Not very convincingly, but we have just broken new lows on the S&P. So we're taking that level out. The Dow is looking like it's in pullback mode. It's looking like that's moving nicely now. So we've done that move down. We've just pulled back. Sellers are starting to step in. So the market is overall looking bearish again now. But we'll see if we can get any momentum. We need to get breaks of lows, really. But quite possibly we're just going to get a double bottom bounce here. We're going to come back up. Rotation. You don't know it's a rotation day until you've put a rotation in. That's why they're so hard to trade. It's trend days we're after. That's where we make our money. Days like this, you just get chopped to bits. Especially when it's so range is so tight. Big strong push on the US. Just flicking through, just seeing what everything's up to. Pound odds looking good. It's building a wedge at the minute. Euro US dollar, lovely looking short. I'm going to take a short on my funded account on this one. Just taking a short here, stop above their high. Reason wicks. We're just about to get a reversal alert on this as well. So ADR, wicks to the high, rejection, rejection, rejection. So we're just compressing up here at the minute. Lovely looking short opportunity it's really not interested in going higher today at the moment up there. So just taking a quick short on that. Very tiny risk. Potential reward on this is anywhere you like. It's the euro. This thing could come screaming down. We've got gaps to fill. It's got a lot of downside potential. Nice. Jesus, come on. DAX. I forgot I'm looking at 1 minute chart. That's right. It's all too quick on the 1 minute chart. Euro New Zealand. There's not a lot gone anywhere in New York at the minute. Very quiet. Lovely liquidity run on Aussie US. Really weak Aussie. Nothing particularly exciting happening on anything at the minute. Market's coming down. So Nasdaq's just broken lows. We are 30 minutes non-stop south. So looking good for that DAX short now. So risk on that trade is only $130. That euro US dollar that I've just taken. It's not a high risk, but a lot more upside rejection than there is downside rejection. And markets seem to be bearish at the minute, which means we typically get US dollar strength off of a bear market, which means that is struggling to push higher. So when we get US dollar strength coming through, we should get a good downward move. So if we can break and hold a new low, that will potentially come off to the downside. Reversal alert would be lovely on that. In fact, I might add, what's that, 1:15.68. 15, I'll go 1:15.60. Just adding a sell stop. So I'm going to add a position when we get the reversal alert, and then just write it down basically somewhere towards the lows to start with. Oh, come on. Let's see if we can get a new low within 2 hours. Jeez, 2 hours. 2 hours sideways, nearly. Oh my God. I'm surprised I'm still awake. Maybe I should boot up Modern Warfare when the market's like this. Trouble is, there's lots of swearing in Modern Warfare, so I don't want to get the stream shut down. Lots of selling. Just gathered up into another position. Pushing my TPs down further. Let's look at where we're potentially going on the DAX. Okay, so yesterday's gap fill is 145.52. So that would be initial target. I've got a feeling if we pop these lows here, we'll probably get quite a nice acceleration out of those lows. So I'm going to just extend the TPs a little bit further down. I still think we're coming down all the way down here to fill this gap, but not today. But we got a new low. There we go. Finally. Which has just been rejected. Not surprised after that drop. Dale's just put a new low in as well. So there's that roll over there. That's the propulsion move. Sellers stepped in, defended the propulsion move down. But we're rejecting these lows now quite aggressively. Okay, taking another position short underneath this low. See if we can get a run up to break these lows here. So just getting in another entry there, if we can do it. At the moment we're putting back. Here come all the P&Ls. So one thing I love about Discord groups and Telegram channels and stuff, it's like we've had one move, and there's loads of people showing their P&Ls on all the profit they've just made on this move down, and a few people showing profit on gold. Gold's obviously just had a decent move by the looks of things. Yeah, so big moves up on gold. Didn't see one P&L of anybody who just got chopped to pieces in this and lost 5 or 6% of their account. It's funny, isn't it? They only show you that, never show you the 5 or 6% they just lost, or the blown accounts. Bear in mind this is a funded channel I'm watching, a couple of funded channels I'm watching. Whoa, what the hell? Uh, 4:15. Putin spoke with Germany's Chancellor Scholz. May have some news coming through in a minute. Putin's been on the phone basically. Putin's been on the phone, so the market goes mental. Literally, he's just had a phone call with a guy, for God's sake. Was it really necessary to do that? Talk about overreaction. Euro US dollar trade is just started to work. Just about to get into second position shortly, somewhere around there. All the other indices have stalled out down here as well. But looking for basically just looking for an accumulation now at the lows. And then drop, hopefully. Pound US dollar's coming down pretty hard at the minute. Been coming down for the last 25 minutes. Aussie dollar, US dollar, New Zealand dollar, US dollar really hit hard. So we've got very strong US dollar moves at the minute. Just entering second position now on Euro US dollar. Bulls coming in. Didn't quite get the entry. I'm literally there. Just missed me by a pipette. Uh, 115.60 is my entry. Taiwan's president Tsai Ing-wen, US tariffs have not incentivized China to change. Just got second entry on pound US dollar. Just about to get a reverse alert. We've got 1 minute left on this candle, but we're going to get the alert. Unless there's just something like that, which I wouldn't put anything past anything at the minute. It is as well. Look, it's retracing. My God, look at that. Gathered me up into the second position. That's all I need, a terminal disconnection. Just lost connection on this terminal. DAX hasn't gone anywhere. DAX is still down here. Nice gap. So I didn't get the reverse alert on Euro US dollar. That's why it's important to wait for candle close, people. Do as I say, not as I do. So too short Euro US dollar now. So I've got $400 risk on this one. High above the high. Sorry, stop above the high. Nice bearish moves just started to come in on the DAX, S&P and the NAS all starting to roll as well. Maybe second leg down starting. I think this is going to win the award for the longest live room as well. Not going anywhere till I made some money. Has anybody heard of E8 funding? As a prop firm? These guys here. I got a free trial. Two-phase limitless scaling. Innovative scaling solution. Complete each growth stage to scale your funded account. Yeah. Objectives. 8% profit target and 5%, maximum 5% daily floating loss plus close loss. Yeah, that's not good. Bad rule. So again, all these prop firms, when you look at them, they've all got pluses and minuses. So the pluses on this one are, if you have day one, you go 30 contracts short on something, you let it run, hits your target, move on to phase two. Next day, go 30 contracts long on something, hit your target, done. 2 days, funded. Bad thing, they have a daily floating loss on your open positions and your closed positions. So if you were to take a 100k account and you run it up to 105k, don't take any money off the table and then drop it back down to 100k, you're out. You haven't won anything, you haven't lost anything, but you've blown the account, because what they will have done is taken your maximum profit today up to 105, and as you come back down to break even on your trade, you've actually broken their loss. You've got to be very careful with these. Looks great on paper, try trading it. Impossible. Yeah. So let's say, for example, you get into a trade, right? We have a new spike and it goes whoop, whoop. Okay, you take your profit off there and you're going, wow, what an amazing day. The next trade you take a loss on it. Because you actually traded up to there, that is where they were going to start your drawdown from. So the fact that you've had a profitable day and taken one trade that's gone against you, if that is more than 5%, you're blown. Lovely. Hideous. Just got to do every single day. I'm just watching some people in one of the Discord funded groups for my Forex funds talking about this firm. Never heard of them. It probably works for them, to be honest, because he's promoting them quite hard. So yeah, you just got to be very careful. Looks good on paper. Lovely website. Cheap rates. Well, $338 for a 50k account. It's not bad. But yeah. Let's have a look at their website and their domain, see how long they've been established. DAX coming down nicely. Still got US dollar strength everywhere. Domain name was registered in February 2021. It was updated in September 21. So they've been going since September last year. So they're brand new. That's why I've never heard of them. Always good to check these out, these new firms. Because there's always people coming along that are trying to make the situation better for traders. But at the end of the day, they're all in it for the evaluation fees. They make way more out of evaluation fees than they will out of anybody being profitable as a trader. Recently heard of a prop firm called Surge Trader. Was attracted to them because they are apparently no minimum trading days. Surge Trader, not heard of that one either. Or have I? Surge Trader. I know if I see the website, if I've been there. Yeah, the bull. Yeah, I've seen this one. Yeah. Surge trader. Daily loss limit 4%. Max trailing drawdown 5%. Whoa, DAX coming down very nice. Just going to that position, fourth position. Fast support. Yeah, again, another one to look at. Have a look at them. Check them out. But overall, just make sure you understand the rules. The main rule you need to be aware of with all prop firms is the trailing drawdown, how the trailing drawdown works, whether it stops, whether it doesn't stop, how it's calculated. Is it on your daily floating P&L, or is it like my Forex funds, a fixed one? This is the reason I like my Forex funds, yeah? It's clear, 100% clear. That is it. I cannot go below that today. If I go below that today, I'm dead. Yeah. If I take this up to $700,000, yeah, and then bring it back down to 53,600, no worries whatsoever. I just can't go below that number. Yeah. The other firm we just looked at, if I take it up to 700k and I drop it by 5, they'll blow my account. Forget the fact I just made $600,000. No, you came down a little bit. You're out. Bye-bye. Yeah. Just got to be so careful with these guys. They're so hard. We've really rejected that. I'm closing out 0.5%. Should have taken more off of that. That pulled off those lows way too quick then for my liking. We came down. We ate all of those orders. I'm just closing out on my other platform as well. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to move it to break even on my other platform. So just broke even on the. I've only got the one on that. That was too big a rejection off of those lows. Double bottom bounce. God, this is hard work today, isn't it? So I've got this euro US dollar on. Stop is up there. Haven't got any TPs running on it, but I've got one position here and one position there. $400 risk. Easy 600 down there. Plus, if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't go, it doesn't go. That's all I'm leaving on this afternoon. I can't be bothered to trade anything else because this market is just hideous. Indices are just awful today. You got to get a lucky one. That was the only trade today. You'd never know it's coming. So, too difficult. But we have got a nice W forming at the moment. Down here at these lows. And obviously the DAX has just confirmed it doesn't like that at the minute. So, A-list party music. I want to try Osprey. Osprey, have a look at those. Osprey FX. Never heard of them either. Not even seen their website. Minimum trading days 10, max loss 5, overall max loss 12. Weekly payouts. So I'm reading this, and obviously I'm aware I'm not actually showing you. Might as well show you as well. I mean, this is, there's no point in doing this one. There's way better firms out there than this. You've got to hit 10%. So first of all, you've got 2% more than my Forex funds. Yeah. Second level, you've got 5% more than my Forex funds. Yeah. Only got to do 8% with my Forex funds and 5%. And you only have to trade 5 days instead of 10. The only advantage is that you got 2% extra to play with there. Not as good as my Forex funds. I haven't looked at this trading drawdown on everything yet. I don't know where the rules are. God, they're expensive as well. $400 for a 50k account? That's $100 more expensive as well. This isn't a good company. I don't know who they are, but they're not competitive. There's too many prop firms out there now. There's 100+ prop firms out there now to choose from. This isn't competitive. The other thing I don't like about this is this. Look, this is gambling. If you pass, we'll give you an extra $400. Why? I thought you were looking for prop firm traders. That's not... Why give bonus? This is like these brokers. Sign up with us and we'll give you a $250 deposit bonus. That's gambling. That's what gambling establishments do, not prop firms. Jeez, what was that? Break even gone on the DAX on my other account. That's the other thing as well. Anybody that's pushing an affiliate program that hard, or a competition that hard, it's just alarm bells. For me, anyway. Stick with the big boys. So, really glad I got out of that. Double bottom bounce. Should have taken it long, but hey. Just got stopped out of break even basically on me on the other account, so nothing lost there. Lots of balls coming in at the minute. I wonder who's providing the white label for all these prop firms. Yeah, so with the prop firms, there's obviously two types of prop firms. There's prop firms, proper prop firms, where you do the evaluation with them. They have their own funding, so CTI, FTMO, Top Step, MFF. They fund you with their own funds, investor funds. The majority of the other prop firms out there, these small ones like Osprey, for example, I don't know for sure what they do, but a lot of those, as soon as you get funded, they farm your account out to a prop desk, so an investment firm, who will then fund the trading. So they don't actually put up any of their capital. Those are the ones you want to avoid, because they are literally in it. I could set up that website, yeah, today, right? Not today, tomorrow, next week. I could basically copy all this website over, and basically every time you sign up, I will quickly whiz over a demo account. I'll set up a demo account with a broker and send it over to you. I could automate all of that, and I'll take your $300, $400, and if somebody passes, I'll worry about how I'm going to handle that when they pass. But in the meantime, I'll just keep taking $300 and building up a massive bank account. When you pass, I'll then figure out how the hell I'm going to get you funded. What I'll probably do is pass a prop firm evaluation myself, and then on your account, I will put a copy trader on my prop evaluation. There you go. Business model done. But my business model is not to fund you. My business model is to get as many $500, $300, $400 as I possibly can out of everybody, because I know 85 to 90% of people aren't even going to get through stage one. They're all going to pay me $300 for having a crack at a demo account. Yeah, this is why so many of these are popping up now. They're coming every week. I'm seeing new ones of these coming around. $700. That's so much money. My Forex funds, that button doesn't work, by the way, my Forex funds, just to let you know. can't find them. Hang on, let me find them. Just do an analysis, yeah. So you want the evaluation program, don't we? So that's my Forex funds. Their evaluation. So their 50k account is $300. Their 50k account is $400. 100k account is $500. Their 100k account is $700. What's the point? And they've got better rules. Sorry, they've got the same rules. Better rules, much better rules. So theirs is 12. I didn't realise it's 12%. I thought it was 10%. So there's 12% drawdown available. And 5% on a daily basis. So it's much better, isn't it? It's cheaper. You get the same leverage, but you also get a fixed drawdown when you pass your evaluation, which is the big winner from IFF, in my opinion. They win. Okay, we're back up at the highs. Look at that. Climbing down the stairs, jumping up the elevator shaft. It's just not possible to trade this thing today, is it? Look, seriously. We've sat there for 2 hours. In 10 minutes, they've undone the entire price action of 2 hours. Do you short that? Do you long that? What do you do with that? I'm inclined to take a short there, but I just don't want to risk it. So I'm not going to. Euro US dollars pushing up on the highs at the minute. Might take a little loss on that one. But yeah, just when you're picking a prop firm, the registration fee is not something you should take into account, really. The rules are way more important than whether they are $100 more expensive or less expensive than someone else, because you will pass the evaluation with decent rules. So whether you pay £100 more to have those decent rules, in my opinion, is much more important. And going for the largest account size you can, so that you've got the biggest drawdown possible, because that's what gets everybody drawdown. That's the killer. So the bigger the drawdown, the better. But obviously don't go too big, because if you go with a 200k account, you've got to do $24,000 in profit, which is obviously hard. No, sorry, that's not the profit target. The profit target is 8%. So you've got to do 16,000 off of a 200k account. Tricky. It's much easier to make 5k or 4k and pass. Yeah. Don't forget, we're talking about 50 grand here. It's a lot of money to trade with. A lot. Plenty. Unless you're Profster, of course, and you've got 200k is not enough. And you can merge accounts as well with MyFF. So if you go and get, like I'm about to pass that. So what I'll do is I'll set up a copy trader onto one of those. So assuming I do well with my funded account, that will auto pass me on that. So they will then merge those two together, and I'll be trading a 250k account if I want to. So you can hold as many accounts as you can. Up to, there is a max, but you can hold multiple accounts and merge them together as well. That's what I'm saying. Pass one, get through with as little money as possible, prove you can do it, and then if you want more funding, just copy. Whatever trades you take here, copy them there. You're allowed to do that. Absolutely fine. It's in their rules. You can copy from one account to the other. Much faster than a scaling plan. All their scaling plans have targets to hit, and they will only increase your account by, I think, 35%. If you want to double your account within a month, take another evaluation. You can quadruple your account in a month if you want to. Much better way of doing it. Just costs you a little bit extra money. But if you're making money, it doesn't matter, does it? Coming off the highs. This is total range bound market today. We're in rotation. Probably going to stay in rotation for the day. So I'm not going to trade anymore. I'm just going to let this Euro US dollar run and come back tomorrow and see if we can figure out how to make some money out of Frankfurt, because at the moment it's a pain in the backside. So I will be in the Telegram group if you need me. Other than that, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 7:50 as usual, 10 minutes ahead of the Frankfurt Open. News-wise, tomorrow is OPEC all day. We've got CAD GDP and PCE for the US dollar at 1:30, an hour ahead of market open. We've got PMIs, which don't really tend to do a lot. We've got SMB talk at some point as well. But yeah, so all the news is pre-market tomorrow. And it's the last day of the month. So depending on, judging by today's price action, obviously, they haven't done any profit take moves or any manipulation today to get them anywhere near targets. So tomorrow is either going to be one of those days again, or we're going to get some serious movement tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. But Frankfurt will give us a clue as to where we're going, as to what happens in the Globex session and what happens with the DAX in the Frankfurt session. If we get a very volatile move off the DAX tomorrow, we'll probably see some really good movement tomorrow afternoon as well on the indices. So we'll be able to tell. This is obviously all a precursor to non-farm on Friday, which is the main event. I will be on early for that, so we'll come on at 1:20 on Friday. I will possibly trade non-farm, try and trade non-farm. And then obviously I won't trade the open because if I can kill non-farm, there's no point in trading the open. Otherwise, just probably going to give it all back, which is what you tend to do if you make a nice profit. Okay, so I'll leave it there. Looking for that Euro US dollar trade back down today. I'm just going to let that one run, see if that one runs and banks a bit more cash. But other than that, I'm not going to take any more indices trades this afternoon. So I will see you tomorrow morning at 7:50. If you need anything, let me know in the Telegram group. Otherwise, have a good afternoon. Hopefully make some money, and I will see you in the morning.